Joining me in the studio as a special guest is Tim Young. Good morning, Tim.
Morning, Andre.
Now, you're the leader of the Labour group on the local council, is that correct?
That's right, and deputy leader of the council.
OK. So, what are you going to do for the town? What are your plans for the next 12 months?
Right, well, we got what we're calling a progressive alliance between these three groups on the council, and we have put a programme together for the next 12 months that includes more investment in tackling antisocial behaviour in the town. We're trying to get more zone wardens on the streets. We're working with the police to get more police officers out there. We're trying to boost tourism. I think it's really important that Colchester punches its weight in terms of tourism. We've seen tourism figures go up. We've just put out a new video that's now on YouTube and on our website and going out on television, promoting the virtues of Colchester, all its history and heritage and all the great things there are to do.
There is so much, isn't there?
There is a great deal to do. The council helps grant fund First Sight, which we're not far from at all here, and Colchester Arts Centre, which does a wonderful array and variety of Anthony Roberts does a great job there, and the Mercury Theatre, of course, which will be undergoing a huge redevelopment that the council is helping with to make it one of the best provincial theatres, I believe, in the region, if not the country. So we've got so much going on. We've got the zoo, we've got all this history, we've got the Castle Museum, we've got Holly Trees Museum, the Natural History Museum, we've got in the borough, we've got Dedham, Tiptree, Wivenhoe, Rowhedge, all these wonderful little towns and villages around Colchester. So we've got a lot going for us. That's what we're promoting, people to come and spend their money in Colchester, move to Colchester, work in Colchester and study in Colchester. We've got the fantastic university and the institute as well. So a lot going for us.
Certainly have. Does the council have any say over what businesses can go where? I mean, for example, I don't think Colchester needs any more chain restaurants or barbers. Can you actually say, I'm sorry, we've got enough of those. We don't want another betting shop here. We'd like to put something else there. Do you have any say over that sort of thing?
We have a pretty restricted say over that. As long as the business that wants to come in meets the planning requirement for that unit, then we don't have a lot of say of what it is. We have a say over the licensing hours of bars and pubs and things, but we don't have much say over what can go in there. And it's left to the market, the competition. If there are, and I would tend to agree with you, we've got a lot of bars, restaurants, and I'm not sure about barbers. Not that I need one very much with the amount of hair I've got. But the market will sort itself out. That's what we're told. I mean, I'm a socialist, so I like to see that, that sort of thing is controlled a bit. But if there are too many, some won't succeed. But the thing that really is happening well in Colchester, and we see it just down the road at 37 Queen Street, is creative industries, the new micro industries that are coming in. Colchester is a real hub for that. These 1 or 2 person businesses that grow, we hope they'll stay in Colchester, and then new micro business can start at the Creative Business Centre just down the road in Queen Street. A lot of those cropping up. And here in this very building at 15 Queen Street as well, that's where it's happening. And we are seen throughout the region, and we're getting a national reputation for being a real hub for those new tech, high-tech and creative industries. I
wonder if I could ask you about something that concerns me quite a lot, and that's rough sleeping. People in the street. There seems to be a lot of people doing that. What's the council doing about it?
We have a programme to help rough sleepers. My colleague, Councillor Tina Bourne, who's deputy leader of the Labour group and also on the cabinet, is the portfolio holder for housing. What we found when we did a survey is a number of people who appear to be rough sleepers aren't.
Right.
They are actual professional beggars who do have homes to go to. So you've just got to be careful. But there's some great charities in Colchester to help rough sleepers and the homeless. Beacon House, Emmaus, Colchester Emergency Night Shelter, to name but 3. I mean, there's others doing great work just over the road. There's Open Road, who do a great job to help people, because a lot of these people, I think the chief executive of Beacon House, Vivian, told me you're only 1 or 2 bad decisions away from being homeless yourself.
Too right.
So we know that there's help that can be given and support that can be given, but we've got to differentiate the deserving cases from those who are trying to play the system. So what I would ask people to do is, it's always good to give a food or a drink if they want, asked if they want a cup of coffee or a sandwich or something. But if you're going to give them money, you're better giving them money to the charities that actually support and help the real cases of homelessness and rough sleeping. But everywhere you go Andre, that I see. And we've recently been away in Suffolk for a few days, and there are people sleeping on the streets of all towns, large or even medium-sized towns in the country. It's something that we as a council, local authorities and the government have really got to get to grips with. And the way you do it, I believe, is by building more genuinely affordable housing and more council housing. And we have got a programme of council housing building that we want to restart, and we will be building more council houses in Colchester again, which is great news, I believe.
Getting on to housing, Colchester has grown so much in the time that I've lived here. I mean, there was a time when I first moved to Colchester where you would recognise people, where you know, what was it, maybe 80,000 people lived in the town, and you'd see the same people over and over again. Now you don't, and there must be so many new houses being built. Have we got the infrastructure? What's happening to help do that?
Well, you have to build the infrastructure in either before or with the new houses, or else it's just going to work. So the new roads, the new community centres, the new doctors' surgeries, the new schools have to be put in at the same time. And that's what we're trying to develop through our new local plan. But the government is insisting that we, in Colchester Borough, build 920 homes every year for the foreseeable future. So Colchester's going to continue growing because, in a way, we're victims of our own success because it's such a nice town and such a nice part of the country. People want to come and live here, and we haven't even got enough houses to support the people who are local, let alone the people who want to come and live here. So there is private development, but within that private development, we've got to make genuinely affordable homes so that people who want their children and their grandchildren to stay in the Colchester area can do.
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree. If I would hate to be starting out now. I mean, I don't know how anybody affords to buy a house if they haven't got one already. And
thank a mum and dad usually.
Well, yes, and I just wish I could do more to help my kids. Yeah. But it shouldn't be like that. Surely there should be. I mean, it's nice if you can afford to buy an expensive house, but then there must be a case for having houses that people can afford.
Absolutely, and that's what we're trying to do, and we're trying to make those representations to the government as well. Social rented housing, which used to be the avenue into a house and then you'd save and get a house of your own, that seems to have gone away. And what we need is more social rented accommodation at rents people can afford. And that's why we want to develop this new programme of council house building to get genuinely affordable housing so that people can get on that ladder. They can't even get on the ladder at the moment. So, you know, you stay with friends or you stay in with your parents to a ridiculous age. Whereas when we were growing up, you in your early 20s, you'd be looking to get on that ladder, and it's just not feasible for most young people today. And I do really feel sorry for them. And if we can, as a local authority, can help them, then we'll do what we can to do that.
That's good to know. Tim, we're getting near the end now, but what's one thing in the next year that we should be looking out for that the council is going to do?
Okay, we want to do something about the roads and pavements. That was a huge issue in the local elections that have just gone in May. It's mainly the county council's responsibility, but we want to work with them. We're making them an offer. We're saying we want to do Transport for Colchester, where we take over the maintenance of the roads and pavements so that we get our potholes filled in, that we get some decent, because we don't think those in Chelmsford know the right way to allocate money to Colchester's roads. If they left that to the local council, the borough council, then give us that budget, we'll spend it where we think the people want it to be spent, and then therefore I hope in 12 months' time you'd see that the roads are maintained to a good level and that people can drive and cycle and walk around Colchester without fear of going into a pothole, getting a burst tyre or tripping over. And that would be a real feather in our caps if we can do that, I think, Andre.
I don't want to stir things, but I work in Chelmsford, and I have to say the roads in Chelmsford are less potholes than there is in Colchester.
I know, it's really annoying, isn't it? Give us I plead to the county council to give us that budget, and we'll try and make Colchester's roads just as good as anywhere else in Essex.
Tim, thank you very much indeed for taking the time, especially on Father's Day.
Yeah, happy Father's Day to everyone.
And hopefully we'll get a chance to chat again in the future.
Love to, Andre. Thank you very much.